Earlier this week, we lost one of our own in Fausto Grissini, a multiple world champion, a legendary team boss, and one of the most well-respected men in the paddock. We want to take this opportunity from everyone here at MotoGP to send our heartfelt condolences to the friends, the family, and the colleagues of Fausto. And just like his teams will do in 2021 in Moto3, Moto2 and MotoGP, we'll carry on this evening with his memory in the forefront of everybody's minds. Good evening and welcome along to MotoGP Chats, our final episode here from MotoGP HQ in Barcelona. My name is Jack Appleyard and we've got another great lineup for you tonight as we finish off in style before all of our attention switches to the Qatar Test. Coming up, we'll be hearing live from Jake Dixon, the Moto2 star. We'll be catching up with him, plus our very own pit lane reporter Simon Crafar as we preview everything to look forward to in Qatar. But first up tonight, let's speak to a MotoGP race winner, a man that stole headlines in 2020 by winning the Czech Grand Prix Red Bull KTM Factory Racing's Brad Binder. He joins us now live from South Africa. Good evening, Brad. How are you, mate?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all good, thank you, mate. I'm all good. So, what's life like in South Africa for you at the moment?
So far, so good. Things in South Africa are quite stable, and the weather's really good, obviously. So it's been great to be able to do a lot of motocross, quite a bit of time on track as well. So all in all, it's been a really, really good preseason. And yeah, I'm really excited to get a Qatar for sure, but it's been a great off season too.
And whereabouts are you at the moment? I'm guessing mum and dad's house?
Yeah, I'm actually at my mom and dad's house at the moment. And I was doing a quick run around trying to find some decent lighting, but it doesn't seem that I definitely didn't get that one right.
Well, we had Fabio Quartararo on last week and his mum made a guest appearance. So if either Mr. or Mrs. Binder happen to pop through, then make sure you get them to come and say hello to us all. Or Darren as well. I'm guessing you've got Darren with you as well.
Yeah, I'm sitting right here in the passageway. So if anyone leaves or is coming in the house, they're going to have to walk straight through. But hopefully they wait till after the show. Yeah,
well, no problem. If they say hello, more the merrier. So we mentioned, obviously, you're living with Darren at mum and dad's house at the moment. What's it like? Are you getting on each other's nerves yet, having spent a whole winter together?
No, I mean, Darren and I, we live together the whole year round, so nothing much changes throughout the year. It's been cool to be back here in South Africa. Normally, I would never get to stay this long, but this year we decided to go directly from here to Qatar. So that's really cool because obviously we don't get that opportunity too often. He's actually flying out tomorrow to go to his test in Portimao, and I fly out on Monday to head to Qatar.
Great stuff. What did you get each other for Christmas?
Jeez, good question, actually. It's really not good that I can't remember.
I know, that's not good at all.
Yeah, obviously, I'm not too sure, actually. I have to give it a think. I have to think about that one.
If it pops to mind, make sure you let us know. So we want to do a little quiz with you, if that's okay. Obviously, we can see you in the Red Bull and the KTM colours now, but you must have had the same T-shirt for, 6, 7, 8 years now? You've been with Red Bull and KTM for pretty much since the start of your career. It's been a long-running relationship.
It has. I'm sure if I was sitting here right now in my shirt from 2015, I wouldn't know the difference. So it is cool. It has been a long time together with the Red Bull KTM. And I'm really happy where I am. We've had a great few years together, and I hope there's many, many more to come.
Well, it's funny you say that if you were sat there in your 2015 shirt, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, because that's exactly what we want you to do. We've got 4 photos from down memory lane of you in your Red Bull KTM livery, and we need you to quite simply guess the year. So starting off with this one, when is this?
I think that would be 2016, I think.
Let's find out.
Or 2015.
2016. Stick with your gut. Stick with your gut. You've gone 2016.
Let's go with my first choice.
Yeah, 1 out of 1. Number 2. Let's see how you get on with this one.
I think that is 2017.
Let's find out. There we go. We've even got the sound effects now. The budget for this show continues to go through the roof. Number 3. Let's see how we get on with this one.
That is 2015.
Is it 2015? It is 3 out of 3 for a full house. Can you get the final one?
That is definitely the 2020.
2020, let's find out. 2019, it was the year prior, so that was Moto 2. I think have we still got the IO on there? I think we might do. So that's the
true story.
There.
Sorry, I was thinking that we had Moto 3, had Moto 2, so there's only one left.
We've caught you out. 3 out of 4. Not bad, though. Not bad. We're looking at the photos of Bruno over our right-hand shoulder. I mean, looking back now, what an incredible weekend and Sunday in particular that was for you. I'm sure you've had time over the winter to relax and think about it. I mean, what a day. What are your memories looking back on it all now?
Yeah, I mean, it's still crazy. Even when I look back, I don't quite, I wouldn't say I don't understand it, but it doesn't really feel too real sometimes. But, you know, it was a great day for me, great day for my team. And it was really unexpected, I think, a little bit for all of us. So, yeah, to walk away with a win in my 3rd race was fantastic. And, yeah, you know, the rest of the year we had our ups and downs from then on out. But, yeah, I've really taken this off season to try and understand exactly what I need to work on, what I need to improve. And I'm confident that I can make a good step forward this season. So let's see how we get on.
Was there a point in that race where you thought, my days, I might actually win this?
You know, it was weird because I went to the front and I saw the gap growing, obviously. But it was almost like I kind of wanted the race to finish, but I kind of didn't as well because, you know, it's not every day you manage to get to the front of a Grand Prix race and you can watch a gap grow. So it was unbelievable to me, honestly, just to try and comprehend that I was leading the race was one thing. But when I actually crossed the line and it was all over and done, it obviously felt like a dream. You know, nothing felt real. But yeah, you know, that's come and it's gone. And I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully having repeat performances of that in the future.
And I know you said afterwards, obviously because of the current travel restrictions, Mum and Dad weren't able to be there. So was when you went home for Christmas the first time that they'd seen you after the victory? Yeah,
it's actually quite unfortunate because, you know, my parents, they came to my first MotoGP test in Valencia. The first few hours of it because I had a flight out that night, and you know, it's always been a team effort to try and get there. And now when I actually get to MotoGP, unfortunately they couldn't be there they haven't actually watched me race a MotoGP bike yet. So it was crazy because, you know, we went there and when I came back, a lot had changed. Obviously, come back, had won a Grand Prix. I understand how MotoGP works a little bit better, have a full season under my belt. And yeah, you know, a lot can happen in 6 months. So it was great to come back and see my family at the end of the year.
And you mentioned how things have changed as well. When you went home to South Africa, has your celebrity status gone up a little bit more? I mean, the problem is with the current coronavirus pandemic, you've not been able to go to a pub to see if anybody's going to buy you a drink yet.
You know, it's funny. I mean, obviously, I think a lot more people recognize me now. But at the end of the day, I haven't really been gallivanting too much with the whole corona situation right now. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. Been really enjoying my time at home, but it's definitely time to get back to action.
No, it certainly is. It certainly is. And we saw from the launch, the photos over my right-hand shoulder here, a new helmet design for this year for you as well. This time with the South African flag through the 33. What's the thinking behind that one? Obviously, I'm sure it's just sort of you have so much pride of where you come from, and it's being able to show that off a little bit more.
For sure. I'm a really proud South African, and I'd put a South African flag all over the place, but obviously there has to be a limit, and I think the 33 is just about enough. So it's super cool. I really like the way my new helmet came out, and I'm really looking forward to wearing it for the first time.
Top man. Right, so as we do with everyone on MotoGP Chats, we have a bit of a deep dive through all of our guests' Instagrams. So we've got 3 photos that you've posted on there, and we just need the story behind it. So this is from your last day of 2018 with the IO team. Now, we can't read what's on those signs, so can you just give us a little bit more info? What are they telling you? Because by the looks of it, you're not too happy with them.
Yeah, geez, I still have those things somewhere. I'm just trying to think where I put them. All the signs, It was the last test of the year in 2018. We actually went to Valencia, and we were just pretty much spinning laps all day. And when I stopped in my last run before, obviously I was flying back to South Africa that night actually. And I just remember the guys had a whole lot of different signs. Like the one guy was sunburnt, and it was like enjoy the beach, and a bit of a mix, like a whole lot of things. Obviously with all my guys, well, most of them are Spanish, and all of them in that photo are actually Spanish. So they had some Spanish things to say to me there for sure.
And is one of the guys there going to be your new crew chief for this year? Because you're bringing with you this year the guy that worked with you in IO, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to have Andres as my crew chief again this season. We worked together the year I won the championship in Moto 3. He was my crew chief in all the years Moto 2, and now again for this season in MotoGP. So we have a really, really good relationship, and I think he understands me really well after all the years of putting up with me, obviously, since 2016. So it's been quite a few years. And I'm really, really excited to get started again. And I was actually chatting to him earlier, and I'm sure I think he's even more excited than I am. So it should be great.
I'm sure he is. He'll be making his debut in Qatar, of course. Right, next one. We've spoken about your brother and the relationship that you have. What's going on here? My favourite thing, by the way, is John McPhee's comment. I don't think he's too trustworthy of your golf skills.
Yeah, Darren and I have both played a few rounds of golf with John, and it's safe to say that I shouldn't even have a club in my hand. Never mind hitting it off Darren's out of his mouth. But look, I love my golf. I'm a terrible, absolute shocking golfer, to say the least. But we have a good time, and this one actually didn't end too bad. I mean, my brother's still got his teeth, so I think it was a win-win.
Yeah, you've got away with it. Next one is you and your Parrot. Now, we had Enea Bastianini and Luca Marini on the first show, and they were talking to us about their dogs. But I don't think there's a MotoGP rider that has a pet parrot. So talk to us. What's his name first?
Well, his name's Oscar. And
Oscar.
And I've had it. Well, we got him, I think, the day before my brother was born. So Oscar's been around since I can remember, pretty much. And he's in his cage. He's chilling at the moment. He's right there. So we've already put the cover on him, because if we don't put Oscar, well, the cover over Oscar, he literally will scream. So this interview would not be going too well at this stage.
Right, well, hopefully we don't get an interruption.
So that's I've got Oscar, and I've got 2 dogs, And unfortunately, I don't get to see them enough because I spend too much time overseas.
Well, it's nice that you get to spend time with them as well. Who knew that there was a third Binder brother? Who would have guessed? So there we go, an exclusive on MotoGP chat. Brad, Darren and Oscar. Final one from 2015. Yourself, Miguel Oliveira and Carol Haneke, who was your teammate at the time there. But most importantly, you said you had a great year then with Miguel, and who would have thought it? 6 years later, you're about to start an adventure together in the factory KTM squad.
Yeah, it's true. It's insane if you think about it. You know, there's been a couple of years where we have disappeared, gone in separate directions, but it's going to be super cool to be teammates with Miguel again this season. You know, we started together in 2015, and now we're both in the factory team. So it's crazy. It's actually quite cool to look back and see these photos. And yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a really, really cool season. I'm really looking forward to it.
And I love as well that it's liked by Joan Mir. So I think if the pair of you post a photo, first and second on the podium this year, you might not get a like from Joan this time around. But as long as he's giving you a like then.
No, for sure. I mean, yeah, you know, the world champ, he was a bit younger back then, that's for sure.
He was. Just before we finish off with you, Brad, similar with all our guests, to properly get them in the mood for Qatar and the season get underway. I know nobody likes doing it, but we like to get their 2021 predictions. 4 simple questions, hopefully 4 simple answers for you as well. The first one, an easy one, who's going to be the MotoGP World Champion in 2021?
Sure. Yes, that's a super, super tough, a tough call to make. I mean, if you look at how the season went last year and how much chaos there was and how many different winners there were, who knows? You know, I think with a lot of things staying the same as last year, I think the same manufacturers will be up front, and it will be a bit of a mix and match. But, you know, I definitely like to see a KTM fighting for the title for sure. I think we have what it takes, and let's give it a go. You know, I think the guys have been working super hard, but to pick someone right now is near impossible. So I think let's flip this around. Who are you rating for, bud?
Who am I rating? Well, right now, since I'm speaking to you, I might stick a cheeky fiver on Brad Binder to win the World Championship.
Well, if I lose it, I'll give it you back.
Thank you. That's why I'm only putting a fiver on. I'm a tight Yorkshireman, so I'm not putting any more than that on. Second one, good. Brad, is Rookie of the Year. So a choice of 3, Jorge Martin, Luca Marini and Enea Bastianini. You know, all 3 of them fairly well from battling with them in Moto 2. Was that the Parrot?
It was. So it wasn't completely quiet, but we've done really well so far.
Yeah. So your Rookie of the Year, what are you saying?
They're 3 super fast riders, so it's difficult to choose one. But yeah, you know, I've always got on really well with Martin, so I'd say there's a good chance it'll be Martin. But who knows? You know, I think MotoGP is completely different, and it's always going to be a bit of chaos in your rookie year, as I learned last year. But yeah, I think if I had to put money on somebody right now, it would probably be Martin.
It'd be Jorge. Third one is your surprise package of the year. Who are you backing to spring a surprise?
To spring a surprise this year?
Yes.
It's a bit complicated, eh? Who knows? I don't know. I'd like to say maybe at a race would have 3 KTMs on the podium. That would be great. But that could be a surprise, I think.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. And your final one, Brad, is your breakout star of 2021. So it's someone from Moto 2 or Moto 3 that you think is going to properly announce themselves this year.
You know, I think I'm going to go with my mate, old Jake Dixon. He's up next.
Okay.
So
yeah, he is.
Yeah, you know, he had some really, really good races last year, and he's a super cool guy. So I'm pretty sure he'll do a great job this season.
Is there anything that we should ask Jake? Anything we can throw him under the bus with?
Yeah, not that I can think of. He's quite a clean-cut guy. So yeah, if something comes to mind, I'll send it through.
No problem. I'm hoping that Darren wasn't listening to that as well. I don't think he'll be too happy with the fact that you picked Jake over him for your breakout star. Although he's already announced himself, hasn't he, with that win last year? So we'll back it up.
Well, I was thinking of the Moto 2 class because I was reading that thing on your guys' Instagram, and I thought I understood it as only Moto 2. But if we're going Moto 3, I have to back my brother 110%. So he's been working hard. He's had a good off season, and I'm sure he's going to be fire this year. So I'm looking forward to it.
There we go. Dive Bomb's the one to watch in 2021. Brad, that's just about everything. Thank you very much indeed. Not long to wait now. Did you say you fly to Qatar on Monday?
Yeah, I'm super keen to get out of here and head back to Qatar. It will be our first race there, unfortunately, with things being cancelled last year. But yeah, we got that extra one to make up for it. So really, really excited to get to Qatar.
Good stuff. We'll catch up with you there, mate, and give my best to Darren and Oscar, mum and dad as well.
I shall do. All the best. Thanks so much.
Top man, Brad Binder there. Thank you very much for joining us from South Africa. Of course, we'll be catching up with him live in Qatar once we get there in just a few days' time. Right, coming up, we'll be speaking live to Jake Dixon from the UK. Before that, though, we gave you a little bit of a sneak peek last week, but this time we've got a proper exclusive for you. Coming up tomorrow, premiering on MotoGP.com, is Inside Suzuki, The Crowning Moment. Probably our best documentary that we've produced here at MotoGP in quite some time. The access is, quite frankly, unbelievable. Access all areas. And if you don't believe me, then take a look at this. This is a sneak peek of episode 1 that's coming live tomorrow.
Valencia 2 era el primer match ball. La primera vez que tuve un match ball fue en Moto 3 y el primer match ball fue en Japón, entonces fallé. Lo tenía en la cabeza, ¿no? No quería fallar. Era un fin de semana especial en el que me podía proclamar campeón del mundo.
There was that feeling of, wow, you're really close to achieving something great. Wasn't really discussed, but you get that atmosphere. It's sort of on the edge of everybody's lips.
C'era un po' di tensione nella squadra perché sapevamo che c'era una posta molto importante in gioco. Si capiva che lì poteva succedere qualcosa di importante.
Y sí que había muchísima tensión, se intentaba disimular, pero era como todo... no se hacían las mismas bromas que se hacen cualquier fin de semana.
El que estaba más tranquilo de todos era Joan. Era curioso porque nos transmitía como mucha paz a todos, ¿no?
Teníamos más focos, más atención, éramos más el centro de atención, entonces bueno, eso ya te conlleva una situación un poco más estresante.
¿Tú te has quedado aquí? Sí. ¿Qué tal, tío? Barato, barato.
¿Qué pasa? ¿Lleva pantalón largo? ¿Qué problema hay?
Que han pedido que no sea pantalones de entrenamiento.
Bueno, pero es un pantalón de chándal que no está mal y se parece mucho al de Suzuki también. Yo no le he dicho nada porque va correcto.
¿Tú piensas que va correcto?
Yo sí. Sí, tú. Exacto.
Sí,
ok.
¿Dónde están los nombres?
¿Con Frecas tú estás allá, Paul?
¿Sí?
Sí.
Y nada, flipa, el sol se lo come todo.
Hemos ido a Tristaina, casi arriba del todo.
Nada, ya.
Venga.
¿Qué te pasó?
Y digo, hostia, se va largo y digo, a ver si no vuelve y entro.
Y sí, tocaste un poquito y...
¿Qué tal, tío?
Y estaba así y pam. Pero bueno.
Joan.
¿Todo bien?
Felicidades, tío. Sí, es verdad. Asegurar, ¿eh? Que ya lo tienes, ¿eh? Perdón. Enhorabuena.
Felicidades, tío.
So there we go, that's an exclusive look at the first episode of Inside Suzuki, The Crowning Moment, that launches on MotoGP.com tomorrow. A 4-part series looking at Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday of the championship winning weekend. You do not want to miss that. Right, on to our next guest then, joining us live from the UK. It's Petronas Sprinter Racing's Jake Dixon. Good evening, Jake. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Just actually enjoying the sunshine in sunny UK right now.
I don't believe you. Sunny in the UK, that never happens. What is it, February?
Yeah, well, it's the same where you are,
yeah.
February.
Yeah, the time difference isn't that bad. So you're in Oakthorpe. Where on earth is that? That sounds an extremely posh part of the UK.
Well, I must say Oakthorpe is where all the cool kids hang out. But no, it's basically about 15 minutes from Donington Park, so not too far away from there. And yeah, just chilling, basically, obviously rehabbing and getting back to some form of fitness to where I need to be.
So just for people that don't know, what's happened to you during the winter break? Why are you not at 100% fitness at the moment?
Unfortunately crashed at the last, Valencia won, and yeah, I broke my wrist really, really badly. No one actually really knows to the extent of how badly I broke it. And yeah, it was actually touch and go whether I would be able to ever ride again.
Really? Wow.
So yeah, tomorrow I actually ride for the first time on a motorbike to see how my range of movement is. It still isn't, I would say, anywhere near where it needs to be, but I think I have enough movement to be back on the bike. So everyone that's listening to this is hearing it for the first time, even down to my team. Obviously, I spoke to Stiggy the other day, and we were trying to sort stuff because obviously in the UK it's difficult with the circumstances that are going on to try and get any form of riding done. But lucky enough, I've been able to get out tomorrow and do some riding. So hopefully it goes well and I can move forward into Qatar.
Well, normally the winter break and Christmas is a time to relax and put your feet up, but it sounds like it's been quite a stressful period for you.
Yeah, it's been super difficult. It's been very monotonous with obviously doing the same routine every single day with training, physio, then gym work, which includes obviously more physio in that time. So yeah, it's been super difficult, but look, it is what it is. I'll take it on the chin, and it was my mistake at the end of the day. So there's no one else to blame other than myself. So it's taught me a few lessons and what I need to do to be a better person and motorcycle racer. So yeah, obviously everything happens for a reason, and hopefully this will stand me in good stead for the future.
You said it was a bit touch and go, and whether you will be able to ride a bike ever again. Is that how serious it really was at one point? And when did you get the all clear on it? How long were you sort of thinking that maybe this was it?
I didn't really know the extent of how bad it was until until the bloke or my surgeon came to me and said, look, this is the extent of your injury, and the fact that you might never be able to ride again is down to how well the operation goes. And yeah, it was a shock to the system, obviously thinking that I just broke my wrist, but actually realizing that I'd smashed it in 3 different areas and dislocated it and torn all the ligaments and everything. So yeah, it was super bad, and yeah, I definitely can feel the pain from it now.
Yeah, I bet you can. Well, best of luck for tomorrow, mate. I hope it all goes well jumping on the bike for the first time. We like to have a bit of a laugh and joke here on MotoGP Chat, so we'll raise the mood a little bit and maybe leave that to one side. We had one of your good mates, Fabio Quartararo, on the show last week. Before we speak about him, though, this is what he had to say about you first, though. And final one is the breakout star of the year. So I need one person from Moto 2 or Moto 3 that you think will have an exceptional year and will be the one to watch for the future.
I will say Jake, even if he don't answer my calls. I hope really he's going to bright because he have a big talent, and I will if I need to help him next year, this year, to make him really fight for wins and podium. I hope I can give a small thing that it can help, and I hope to have him soon to the Petronas team in the next years.
I think so there you go. I mean, first things first, why are you not answering his calls?
Do you know what? He rang me straight after he'd done this interview and said to me, oh, you answer my calls now. I says, yeah, what's the problem? I've been busy. Obviously, clearly you haven't been busy. And he said, oh, I was speaking with MotoGP today and I mentioned you. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then we was just chatting away, and he's a really, really good guy. I really get on well with Fabio, and yeah, he helped me a lot last year. We had a lot of fun in the paddock because I think he went through some tough times. So I tried to obviously pick him up when he was having tough times, and he picked me up when I was having tough times. So yeah, we bounce off each other well, and yeah, he's just a cool guy.
And as you say, he picks you up in times when you're struggling as well. But he's predicted a bright future for you. A couple of years' time, he says you're going to be in MotoGP on the grid with him. How does that sound?
Well, I have to do it in Moto2 before thinking about going to MotoGP. But yeah, obviously for someone like Fabio to rate me the way that he does is really nice, because obviously he hasn't got to say anything. He hasn't got to big me up. He can be my friend without doing all that stuff, you know. So yeah, it's super nice, and yeah, it's who knows what the future holds, and I'll just keep doing what I'm doing, and if it's good enough, it will hopefully one day take me to the top.
As you mentioned as well, he picks you up in times of need, and there was no bigger time of need than after your crash in Le Mans, leading the race a few laps away from your debut Grand Prix victory. Let's take a look. We happened to have some behind-the-scenes cameras in the Petronas box when that happened, and here's what happened.
In a tough moment, it's always great to have someone, and he was there to fight for the victory, it was clear. And I say, you learn more today than all your beginning of the season. How many times you have been leading a Moto2 race? He says 0, so just keep working like that.
When he went to 0.8, I said, try some more now.
Yeah.
And then I got him back to a second.
1.1, 1.3, keep it there.
Yeah.
What was it before I crashed?
Yeah, you same gap all the time.
1.1.
Yeah.
That's so smooth. Man, many crash in the beginning.
Yeah.
Many crash.
And Sam, when you had this lock, you see, of course you saw. Yeah.
Now I can see where I'm going.
Yeah.
I tried many times, did you see?
Yeah.
Got the inside.
Man, turn 10, everybody.
Yeah.
But you are so smooth. Bam,
Yeah. So smooth.
When you overtake Bezzecchi, bam, inside, smooth.
Yeah. This is racing, man. Tomorrow we have forgotten this and look forward. Right? Yeah.
I think, fuck, you learn much more.
You learn so much, yeah.
Man, at the moment.
Yeah, it's shit at the moment.
So there we go. That was from Le Mans. I'm sure you've watched it back on MotoGP.com and social media as well. What was it like watching that back?
Emotional. I sent it to my manager Frankie, and he said, yeah, nice. If you want something to cry on, I think send people this video. So yeah, obviously it's filled with a lot of emotion, you know. It's just so many thoughts that were going through my head at the time that yeah, it was just crazy times. Obviously starting on the grid and saying to Stiggy that we'll go slicks, because I came straight to the grid and I said, soon as I came, slicks, no questions, go slicks. And everyone else I could see around me was not knowing what to do, and then everyone was almost watching what my team was doing, because as soon as they see the tires coming out, I felt like everybody else made the decision to go to slicks. So yeah, it was difficult. We opted to go with a soft front that we hadn't ran all weekend. And obviously, I think that played a factor at the beginning of the race. As you see, Sam obviously locked the front at the beginning. And I was able to just generate a little bit more heat, a little bit more quickly than what he was. So I was able to push early on. But then later on in the race, I felt like I had to start to adapt a lot more to the track and the tyre. So yeah, it was obviously a difficult race. Seeing 16 laps to go on my dash and thinking, my God, this feels like an eternity already. I just wish I just wanted to stop now so I can win the race. But unfortunately, I didn't win the race, but I took many positives from it. And yeah, I learned how to lead a Moto2 race.
Yeah, hopefully that'll all that experience will come to good use this year. You mentioned Frankie there. For people that don't know, obviously your manager is Frankie Carcetti, the crew chief to world champion Joan Mir. So how did that relationship come together?
It came together it was 2016. I was out of a ride. I'd left my super sport ride because I felt that I needed to part ways to forward my career. And luckily enough, I messaged Lee Hardy, and I jokingly said, Lee, give me a shot on your superbike. And he said, funny enough, I wouldn't mind putting a second superbike out, and we have a test in 2 days at Snetterton, a 2-day test. And I said, well, put me on it. And he said, okay, well, let's go to the test, and if you do well enough, basically I'll give you the ride for the rest of the season. So I went there, and Frankie was my crew chief, obviously part-time helping Lee, and then I met Frankie through that way, and we left the first test in Snetterton BSB. I think I was less than a second off Michael Lavert, who'd actually set the new fastest ever lap round Snetterton, and I think I was something like 10th. So Lee straight away put a contract in front of me and said, sign here. And I signed, and we never looked back.
There you go. Not helped by a few dodgy days with a few dodgy super sport teams as well, but we won't go into that. So let's have a look at some of your Instagrams, Jake. As with all of our guests, we have a bit of a deep dive on your Instagrams. Starting off with this one, full focus at the virtual Formula One Grand Prix last week, and you went down to Mercedes, right? That must have been an incredible experience.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was so good. When the team asked me, Mercedes have asked if you would be interested to do the virtual GP for them, I said, yeah, 100%. I'm so into my car racing, and one day I would like to obviously do a bit of car racing, and to get the opportunity just to race on the simulators for Mercedes, the best Formula One team around, I wouldn't say no. And yeah, it was the best 4 days I've had to date this year, and yeah, it was nice. I was actually working with a guy called James Val, who is Valtteri Bottas's and Lewis Hamilton's strategy guy. And we work closely together. And also with the esport guys, Bono, who has been a world champion in esports, and Danny, who's been the rookie of the year. So I had a very, very good team around me. And yeah, I had a great time battling with Charles Leclerc. No, Arthur Leclerc, sorry, Charles Leclerc's brother, in the virtual GP. So yeah, it was really, really great, and it was nice to be in a lobby at times with George Russell as well.
Yeah, a super cool experience, and you did pretty well. What, you were battling inside the top 5, a late spin at the end unfortunately just caught you out, but you got a little bit of a nudge, didn't you?
Well, actually, I blame the team a little bit for strategy, because I was actually running
Don't blame the team.
About 2.5 seconds, and they pitted me a bit late, and they put their hands up and said, look, we pitted you a bit late, but your teammate came in early, and we wanted to pit you when he was in. So they had to leave me out. So in all fairness, it was just one of them situations.
Multiple Formula One world champions, and he's blaming the team. I don't believe it. On to the next one then, Jake. A bit of a superstar on Instagram. We've just been speaking to Brad about his Parrot Oscar. Tell us about Larry. I think he's just as popular on Instagram as he is you.
Larry's just a household name now. Everybody on Instagram knows who Larry is, and yeah, as you can see in this photo, he's just absolutely living the dream. He's just such a legend. He's actually become a little bit more barky in lockdown. I don't know if that's because he's taking more liberties now, because we're around and he thinks he can push the boat out a little bit. But yeah, he's definitely brightens mine and Sarah's day when we see him every morning. But yeah, as you can see, he's quite a character, and yeah, he's just he's our fur baby. So no, it's cool.
And whereabouts is he at the moment? Have you got him locked away in the lounge somewhere so he's not interrupting?
Well, Sarah's actually just come back from a walk, so he will be probably currently in the kitchen with Sarah, trying not to make too much noise.
Well, if he pops in and says hello, I don't think anyone will mind. He is a bit of a superstar and a bit of a celebrity, Larry. On to the final one, Jake. A bit of a throwback, this one. Back to your Moto 2 debut in 2017. Now, you told us about your opportunity getting the ride with BSB and how you met Frankie through that and where you are today. But I'm sure that this weekend played just as an important role in getting you to the Moto 2 World Championship.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, 2017, it came about when Schrotter broke his wrist, I think. And Dynaval, Frankie reached out to them and put my name forward. And then they said, yeah, we'd be really keen for that. We got talks going, and then I was lucky enough for Lee to let me ride the Grand Prix with the team. And yeah, it was a great opportunity, a great experience. And I can tell you now, jumping from 1,000 to a basically standard 600 Honda engine, it is possibly the worst combination I could have ever done, because I generally thought the bike was broken when I went out the pits because it had no power.
And now look at you, of course, with Petronas for the second year. This is going to be your third year in Moto 2. I mean, it's been a crazy ride for you so far. Sort of, hopefully, for a lot of young British riders, creating this route through from British Superbikes into the World Championship.
Yeah, definitely. I think as being as a Brit, as we all know, it's super difficult. All the young talent that's trying to make it to the position where I am now, and hopefully to one day be in MotoGP, it's not an easy ride. It's not a normal ride for someone like us Brits. We usually go the route of Superbike. As you see, we do a lot of dominance in World Superbike with Johnny Ray. And all the other riders, Tom Sykes, Alex Lowe's, we have a very good breeding ground for that. But I think we need a little bit more from terms of opportunity to come into the MotoGP paddock, because as you see, there's a lot of Spanish and Italians that are able to come through, and yeah, we just don't seem to have that background. And I think it just stems that down to, in Spanish Championship they have Moto 3, Moto 2, and then that obviously leads on to go into Grand Prix, where we don't have that so much. Yes, we have a Moto 3 class, but it's not like your Spanish CEV, which is a World Championship. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things going on now. Like you see Michael Laverty's doing stuff. I hear Bradley Smith's doing stuff to help young talent out. So there's a lot of things that can potentially happen. Obviously, MotoGP do the British Talent Cup team in CEV, which is fantastic, and it's hopefully going to bring young talent through. So yeah, there's a lot of things in the pipeline, and yeah, one day hopefully I can create a route through to MotoGP myself.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I'm sure there's a lot of talented British guys there that are hoping to follow you through. You never know. It might be the likes of Rory Skinner, who had a great year in British Supersport last year. Right, Jake, we're just about running out of time, but with everybody, we always finish off with some quick fire predictions ahead of the Qatar Test and 2021 getting underway. So a nice easy one for you to start with. Who is your 2021 MotoGP World Champion?
I'm not going to say nothing, but just the hand gestures to say it all.
What, you're not making? You don't know. You're not making a prediction. You'll be the first person to blank me. Well, yeah, for Moto 2...
This is the celebration, like this.
For Moto 2, you'll be selecting yourself, but what about GP?
Okay, GP. Oof. I don't know, because if I say... Because obviously I want the Petronas riders to do really well, but then also I want Frankie to do really well, and then also you want Fabio to do well. So I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I'm just standing back, and I hope they all do well.
So you're going for a 4-way split on the title between Joan Mir, Valentino Rossi, Franco Morbidelli, and Fabio Quartararo. Well, it'll be a good season if it happens. It's going to be a good season. The next one is Rookie of the Year in MotoGP. So 3 guys that you raced with last year. Jorge Martin, Luca Marini, Enea Bastianini, who's taken the Rookie of the Year title.
Martin, for sure, without a doubt. The guy's got a lot of determination, a lot of talent, and all-round good guy.
Jorge Martin then. Surprise package of the year. Who do you think will spring a surprise?
Do you know what? I'm going to say Brad Binder, because obviously, yes, he won the race at Brno last year, but I generally feel that this year him and KTM are going to make another step again, and I think he'll be there every single race.
There's a lot of love this week on MotoGP chats, because actually Brad said your name for this next one, which is going to be Breakout Star of the Year. So somebody from Moto 2 or Moto 3 that announces themselves on the world stage. I have a sneaky feeling who you might say for this one.
You'll be surprised. Do you know what? I'm going to say Darren Binder, because, yes, again, he won last year, but the guy is ridiculously fast. As you've seen, if he can get his qualifying to where he needs to be, he's got a lot of talent, and now being in what I would rate as the best team, yeah, he's going to do it.
Another Petronas rider as well. Well done. You've kept Razlan happy with your predictions there. Jake, thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Best of luck with the wrist as well. We hope everything goes swimmingly for you when you're jumping on the bike tomorrow, and we'll see you out in Qatar.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
See you later. Jake Dixon there joining us live from the UK. Our second guest, we've got a third one coming up. Simon Crafar, my good friend and colleague, our MotoGP.com pit lane reporter, is going to talk all things Qatar Test. Before that, though, some of the MotoGP riders were able to get to Catalonia yesterday and try out the brand new Turn 10 that they've resurfaced. So I took my camera and I took my microphone down there and caught up with as many of the Premier Class stars as I could do.
I feel great on the bike. I'm happy because I was able to make a lot of laps today and to try the new corner. No, it was really important to understand how to do it, to find the correct line, to have an idea when we will be back in the future, no, in MotoGP.
So coming back from a long time and also seeing the rivals. Also, Moto2 riders, Moto3 riders, fighting each other. It's nice to start to feeling that racing spirit already before Qatar.
It was a good day, playing with the friends, with arenas, with more riders. So yeah, taking again the adrenaline and the feeling.
It's always great to ride in this circuit. This is one of my favorite tracks over the world, so nice to be here, nice to ride in these sunny conditions, and especially to try the new La Caixa corner. Sincerely, I have to congratulate the circuit because it's a much better corner. The old one was horrible, super tight, and this new one, it reminds me more like the old corner, but with a better runoff area. So they did a great job, and I can't wait to try in the MotoGP.
Good to be here in Montmelo before going to Qatar. It's a GP track, long straight to get 300 k's in the mine. This is important, and also it was the new corner, the turn 10, that they did the new layout, and personally I prefer this layout because it's better corner speed, and I can enjoy much better than before.
Good to feel again the racing speed. And yeah, actually in the new turn 10, it was really good, and I think they did a really great job. And yeah, I enjoy a lot. I mean, you know, the new surface really good grip, and also the shape of the new turn 10 is really nice.
Momelo circuit is fantastic, and to have similar like the old layout is fantastic there at turn 10. You can carry the speed a lot. The asphalt has a lot of grip, so you know, 10 out of 10 job for them. You know, it's great to be on track with all these great riders again, and you know, super excited to do it all again in a couple of weeks in Qatar.
Feeling good, everything is standard, so it's quite easy to ride. Happy because, you know, just to get back the muscle a little bit on the road bike, and yeah, the turn is quite different, but feels good, and yeah, it's different. It's between the old one and the Formula One, so yeah, I like it. So yeah, happy to be back, and yeah, it's one more step closer to Qatar.
One more step closer to Qatar, and now only a few days away from Qatar. I'm going to be flying out there on Tuesday, and joining me is going to be my good mate and colleague Simon Crafar, our pit lane reporter here on MotoGP.com, who joins us live now. Good evening, Simon. How are you, mate?
Really good, really good.
Fully rested after Christmas?
In case you're wondering, I opted for glasses tonight. I've had another birthday since I saw you last, and with the evening light, I couldn't see things around me. So, but great to see you all.
You don't need to lie, Simon. You wanted to see my beautiful face in full HD. Yeah, we'll move on. So, good Christmas. How was it? Fully rested ahead of the new season?
Yeah, really good. Too rested, to be honest, because the track day scene that I normally push on with in winter has been quiet because a lot of clients can't fly, you know. So been very quiet. I'm talking probably 20% of normal. Sad, you know. So hopefully we're back to that, you know, good numbers again next year. But meantime, I can't wait to get to Qatar and see the new machinery or what's changed, you know, the new riders as well.
Yeah, I'm sure like me, you're getting pretty restless at home now. Obviously, no Malaysia test, which is why we're filling the gap with these shows. All of the pre-season testing is going to be done under the lights in Qatar. Before we talk about each manufacturer, how much of a factor is that going to play? Not only for the testing, but for the season as a whole as well.
Yeah, I think what I did was go back and think what it was like for me starting each season with you know, with different manufacturers and what you go through. And normally you get to try a few different circuits, you know. You're riding different tracks, you get to test parts at those different tracks, you know. So new parts, you got to make sure over a few different tests and then even into races that they work. And when you go to one circuit, you can't make sure they're good at different circuits and in different conditions. So I think that's the worry. I think we're not really going to know what the manufacturers have, you know, how good their package is, till probably, we're talking 2 races at Qatar and then probably 2 more races into Europe before you really get a good idea of where the balance of power lies, you know what I'm saying? Whose machine has made a step forward. That's my feeling anyway. To give you an idea, they're going to turn up with a bunch of parts in Qatar, and they might work there and then not at the next race, or they might not work there, but they've got to try them again at the next one anyway to see really how good they are.
We've got a whole host of live shows coming from Qatar when we get there for all 6 days of testing. Plenty of opportunity to get into the nooks and the crannies of the spec and the tech. But before that, we'll keep it quite simple. We've got 2 minutes on the clock here. We need a 30-second preview for each factory. So we've got 6 factories, obviously, across MotoGP. We'll start with our reigning 2020 Manufacturers Champions Ducati. So for anybody at home, what should they be keeping their eye out on for Ducati?
Ducati. Oh, I was going to start with Suzuki, but Ducati. to me, Ducati's an unknown coming into this year, how much progress they would have made over the winter, because last year the factory team struggled with the rear tire especially, but the factory team riders have changed, so that's led by Jack Miller and Pecco Bagnaia, and they had less of the rear tire problems than the old two factory riders, so interesting to me. It was sad last year to see the factory boys struggle like they did, because what a machine, it's super impressive, super engine. They always have complained about a bit of turning. Let's hope they can make a step forward there. And like I said, the big one was that new rear tire, making friends with that, the Ducati and the new rear tire working together. But I think Jack and Pecco are the boys to change it, so yeah, that's what I feel. So what I've seen in testing so far, they hadn't changed the chassis in the photos I saw, but let's see what they've got at Qatar.
Ducati nearly always have something up their sleeve, so we'll probably see something at Qatar. Next one, Simon, is the guys you were going to go with first, our MotoGP World Champions, Suzuki.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see a change in philosophy from Suzuki, because it worked so well in the last couple of years, and that is don't make a big change, take what you've got and slightly improve in all areas. Suzuki have made that those same sounds in interviews, so I believe we're going to see the same bike there, and they're going to just try over those 2-3 day tests at Qatar. They're going to try different swing arms, maybe another chassis. Everyone's going to be trying exhausts, air intakes, electronics, because that's the things they can change. They can't change engine, so that's what I'll be keeping an eye out for. But Suzuki, I think we're going to pretty much start with the same thing because it works. Suzuki, they had no super high strong point. I would say maybe handling was very good. But they worked well in all conditions, everywhere. They did everything well. So, like I said, I don't think you're going to see a big change.
Yeah, for Suzuki, I think it pretty much is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it certainly isn't broke over in the blue brand. Next up, Simon, Yamaha. I think it's going to be a big pre-season testing program for Fabio Quartararo and Maverick Vinales in the factory Yamaha camp.
Yeah, and they need to change some things. It was a very up and down season for them, especially for the man we see on screen. Both men we see on screen now. I think, though, that those two boys are really fast, and Yamaha have got 4 really fast riders, and they've got enough data, enough info, really clever crew chiefs to know why. I think, or at least a good idea why it was so up and down last year. And I shouldn't include Franco in there, Morbidelli, because his wasn't as up and down, was it? And maybe there was a piece of the puzzle they can steal from Franco's older bike, or what Franco was doing to help fix their problems. But again, that is one of the ones I put into unknown. I'm really looking forward to what they turn up with at Qatar, and I'll be reporting that back to you.
That's going to be one of the big storylines to take from it. Next up is KTM. I'd imagine, again, Simon, this is a similar story to what we've heard with Suzuki.
Yeah, well, they were the biggest improvers, weren't they, last year? They were stunning. Right from, I saw it coming, because right from Jerez test, which was so early, before the season got going, everyone was super happy with their machinery, and it was the first time I'd heard that. So I kind of saw it was going to be a good year for them. But it's way harder to improve from where they are, where they finished last year, again, because they're already really good, So, but the thing is, those guys never stop throwing equipment at it, and so I'm expecting at least new chassis, swing arm, something in there, because their main complaint last year that I heard was, for example, they'd turn up to Misano 1 and they weren't really there, not like I thought they'd be, because they were pretty much everywhere before that. and it was turning that the riders complained about, and they worked hard on it, and they improved everywhere they went. If they had extra time there, they improved it. That also comes down to a relatively new manufacturer in the championship. They've got less data, less info to fall back on. But to me, KTM never stopped throwing things at it, especially hardware, So I'm looking forward to reporting back to you at Qatar if what they've got there. But I expect them to make a little step closer again.
Yeah, for KTM, I think it's going to be if they can make that jump from race winners to championship challengers. Time will tell with them. For Honda, it's another big pre-season testing because, for the most part, it's going to be without Marc Marquez.
Yeah, the thing is about Honda, my gut feeling, watching what's going on, is it's less unknown to me. Watching the test we reported on a few weeks ago, Bradl testing at Jerez. Honda are obviously serious about fixing their bike so it's friendly for all their riders, and I think they're going to achieve that, because last year, they got caught with their pants down a bit, didn't they? They'd lost their best man, and the bike it was known for the last year or two before that not everyone could ride it. It wasn't so friendly. And they, put their heads down, worked hard and improved it at the back end of the second half of last year. They made some headway, and I think they haven't stopped. They want, with or without Marc, to be competitive. That's what I think. And we've seen new chassis turn up at Jerez, and I think they're a little bit of a worry for the other manufacturers. I think Honda are going to go and make a step forward.
And if you want to see a full analysis on what we saw in Jerez with Stefan Bradl, you can head to MotoGP.com and see a video that Simon kindly did for us. Some great insight there for those of you that haven't seen it already. Finally, Simon, Aprilia, no Bradley Smith at the test, only Lorenzo Savadori. So it looks like their lineup for 2021 has been confirmed without them announcing it. So a bit of an exclusive there. I might get told off for giving that one away. But what are they going to be getting up to in Aprilia?
Yeah, that is a big one that I'm actually really looking forward to, because all of last year, it was really obvious their new machine was pretty awesome. They came, I said it a lot of times last year, they turned up at Kuala Lumpur, Sepang test, with a bike that hadn't been tested before. It was brand new for the boys. They got out there and they liked it straight away, and it did impressive times. And during the year, I heard, it was the only V4 I didn't hear, just to give the listeners an idea, the Suzuki and Yamaha are inlines, all the others are V4, 90-degree V4s. And the general complaint from all the V4s is turning isn't awesome, unlike the inline bikes. But Aprilia doesn't seem to have that same problem. It seems like they've really put a good chassis together. They lacked power last year, and from my experience, that is always the way when you have a brand new engine. It doesn't matter what manufacturer I rode for. If it was a brand new model, the engine was a bit slow until the manufacturer had a year with that engine, dyno time, especially the next winter, they come back strong. I think that's what Aprilia are going to do. That they've already got a good chassis, they've had more time, they're allowed to use some new parts, and they're going to have a decent amount more power. And I'm hoping that they can make that step up to fight with the others, because they always seem to be just, playing catch up. I've heard whispers, don't know how true they are, but of 10 horsepower right across the range. So let's hope we see that in Qatar.
Yeah, fingers crossed. The only thing that MotoGP needs now is 6 manufacturers all fighting at the front. So let's hope we get that in 2021. Well, the good news is, Simon, it sounds like your mind is perfectly tuned and ready for Qatar. But what about your ear? Let's do a little bit of fun just to finish off. We've got 3 bike noises, one of each manufacturer on the grid, and it's a simple task. I say simple, might be a bit more challenging, for you to listen out and let us know which bike that is.
They might sound a bit different in here, but I'll do my best.
Exactly,
I do love
yeah.
listening to them.
So here we go. This is the first one. Let's see how you get on.
Okay, it's a V4, and like I said before, that means it could be an Aprilia, KTM, Honda, or Ducati, but I'm going with Honda for that one.
Let's find out. There we go, 1 out of 1, and we've even got the sound again. God, the budget continues to go up. So, number 2.
I'm nervous.
It's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Good job is, this isn't for £500,000. Let's find out if you know this one.
Got it. That's my favorite V4 sound. It's a Ducati.
There we go, 2 out of 2. Here's for the full house, Simon. Have we got one more to listen to?
Yeah, it's an inline 4, and it's got that little howl I can hear in there, rather than that cross-plane crank of the Yamaha, so that's a Suzuki.
3 out of 3.
Awesome.
There we go. I didn't expect any less,
going.
Simon. That is why you are our pit lane expert. Good stuff. Right, just before we finish off, let's tell everybody at home what we're going to be up to in Qatar. It's going to be a fairly busy few days for us, with After the Flag coming to you live on 6 separate nights. We should have the full schedule coming up for you now. So here we go. 5th of March, 6th of March, and the 7th. The 5th, of course, being the Shakedown Test, where we'll be able to hear from the MotoGP rookies for the first time, as well as Cal Crutchlow after trying out the Yamaha as well. And then the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th, the final 3 days of testing for the Grand Prix gets underway. That's at 8:30 local time in Qatar, 6:30 here in Barcelona, 5:30 for all of you watching in the UK. We're going to be busy, Simon.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to it because I haven't been busy enough lately, and I love keeping busy. And just to hang out in the pit lane, I feel so lucky, you know. And like I think you know, Jack, I love the machinery. You know, I love talking to the guys in the team who love the machinery as well, and we get to watch those amazing riders. So I genuinely can't wait.
No, it's the best job in the world, so we can't wait to get back out there. Our flight tickets are in our back pocket. We're flying out from Barcelona on Tuesday morning. Can't wait to get there and bring you loads of interviews, loads of content. Yeah, no, there's going to be a few of them as well. Loads of behind-the-scenes stuff from the test. Make sure you stay tuned to MotoGP.com, where we'll be bringing you all of that. Simon, thank you very much for joining us. I'll see you on Tuesday, mate.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
There we go. Simon Crafar, who will be getting right in amongst it in pit lane once we get to Qatar. He's like a kid on the first day of school when we get there, and he's able to hear the bikes down in pit lane. Right, that's everything that we've got time for here on MotoGP Chats. The final episode before bikes are back on track in Qatar. Quite frankly, the time for talking or chatting is officially over. Let's get down to business.
Joan Mir is the world champion of 2020. We cannot wait to be back in 2021.
Hours and hours in the gym.
The wait is finally over.
No stones has been left unturned.
Every year you need to bring up something more.
Let's make it count. Now I'm the target. They wanted to take what is mine.
I've made the move up. Now it's time to step up.
These colors means the position of winning. It's the glory. I live in my dream.
Waited all my life for this opportunity.
I feel really part of the DNA and the success of KTM.
I'm ready to fight.
New colors,
new adventures,
same ambition.